Welcome back to another video. I'm Diamond Racing and today I'm going to do my Sauber teammate pairing rankings part 2. This is going to be the second half, of course, and it's going to be from 12th to 1st in the teammate pairing ranking. So I did do some background on Sauber in the previous video. Please go and watch that video. That one I don't think is so interesting as this one, but if you want to look at more weak options in the F1 Sauber history, please go watch that one if you're interested. Just excuse my hair. Today it's been an early one. I'll try to get this out before I need to go to work. So yeah, this is gonna be an early one. So please excuse my hair. It's a big mess. So, but yeah, let's just get underway today. And start with the last place on our list is going to be P12, and it's going to be Nico Hulkenberg and Esteban Gutierrez in the 2013 F1 Sauber pairing. Now, Nico Hulkenberg, it was in his beginning of his career. I think this was Esteban Gutierrez's first season in F1. And yeah, they had one fastest lap, 57 points in that single season, which was 2.97% of the points score that year. And it was P7 in constructors and P10 and P16 for the drivers. So now this is the weakest one of the episode, of course, and this was one of their better seasons in the 2010s. So probably one of their best. Jeez, my hair is looking so bad. Sorry, but yeah, this was that one. So next on the list, P11 will be the 1993 season, their first season in F1 with the two drivers, Carl Wendlinger and JJ Leder. So that was the Sauber's first ever team, and it wasn't a bad season. They scored 12 points, which of course were much less. There were much less points to score at that time. That of course. So that's why it was a 3.30% of all points scored that season. P7 in constructors for the first time and P12 and 13th for the drivers. So it wasn't a bad first season for Sauber, but there will be some good talents coming through there. So P10, first of the point scorers, is going to be the 1997 teammate pairing with Johnny Herbert and then Nina Larini, I think, G. Morbidelli, and Fontana. Those three shared their seats. And yeah, this was one of them that were so bad. Well, not bad, just the drivers were all over. But still, they scored one podium with Johnny Herbert, 16 points in that season, which was 3.61%, P7 in constructors, and P10 and P19 in the standings. So that was not a bad season for the drama they had with their drivers. Now next up on our list is going to be P9, which is going to be the 1995 driver lineup, the third one of Sauber's entirety, with Carl Wendlinger and Boylan, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sharing the one seat, and Heinz Elfrens in the other. And this was their first ever podium in F1 with 18 points, which were 4.22%, still P7 in constructors, but this time breaking above the 10th place with P9 and P16, which was the highest of the two. Not a bad season and getting their first ever podium, which was good. P8 is going to be the 1998. Sorry, the 1998 F1 season with them, and it was John Alesi with Johnny Herbert. Yeah, this wasn't a bad one at all. Yeah, actually a good one. They had one podium, 10 points, which was 2.4% of the points scored that season. But finally, they break the P7 and they were P6 in the constructors and P11 and 15 in the drivers. So it wasn't a bad season, but it always can get better, you know. So P7 is going to be the 2003 driver season with Nick Heidfeld and Heinz Harold Frentzen. Now I think this isn't the first time they had teamed up in the team, but this was their most successful one of this season, which they scored one podium, and it was actually the season in the year that I was born, the 2003 season. So yeah, they scored one podium, 19 points, which were 3.04 of the percentage that season, and they actually 3.04, and they were P6 again in the constructors and P11 and P14 in the driver standings. P6 is going to be the 2002 season, the one before the one we just talked about, and there was Nick Heidfeld and Felipe Massa with Heinz Frentzen taking his seat over for one drive. And yeah, that was actually a very good season. They scored 11 points, which was actually less than the year before, but they were P5 in the Constructors Championship and P10 and P13 in the driver. So it was still a better season overall than the 2003 one. So I'm just going to pause a minute. Sorry, she was trying to get in the door. So this is Bella. Hello. Okay. Now she's just going to sit by me until I'm done here, but let's go on. So 2002 was P6 and was actually a good season. Now P5 is going to be the 2011 and 2012 season with Kamui Kobayashi and Sergio Perez. Now this was actually a very good season for the team. It was 2 seasons, of course. They had 4 podiums in the 2 seasons. And that was pretty good. I think Sergio Perez had 3. Kamui Kobayashi scored that iconic F1 podium at his home race. And they almost had a win also. But at those 2 seasons, they scored 170 points, which were 4.31% of all points scored in those 2 seasons. They finished P6.5 average in the Constructors and P12 and 13 average for the Drivers' Championship. So this was probably the best season they had, the best 2 seasons they had in the 2010s. Now the rest is going to be all in the 2000s. So the 1998 season were the best in the 1990s. So I've got to say that. In the 2004 season, it's going to be Giancarlo Fisichella and Felipe Massa. Now this was also a very good season. They didn't score any podiums, but they scored 34 points, which were 4.84% of the points scored that season. And they still finished P6 in the Constructors, in P11 and P12 in the driver standing. So this was actually another good season of theirs. But let's get to the podium places. With a bronze medal is going to go to the 2006 season with Nick Heidfeld and Jacques Villeneuve, and at the end of the season Robert Kubica took over the place there. And this was actually a very good one season for the drivers. They had 2 podiums, 36 points, which was a 5.12% of all points scored. That's a very big jump up from the previous one. P5 in the Constructors equaling their best so far, and P9 and P15 with the drivers. If Robert Kubica was there the whole season, it would be probably a much better season, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Second place, our silver medal is going to go to the 2001 driver lineup with Nick Heidfeld and the legend himself, the Iceman, Kimi Räikkönen. Now, I was actually shocked with how good this season was, because they scored 1 podium, 21 points, which was a 4.75. Not as good as the previous one, but they scored their best constructors, best in the constructors so far, with P4 and P8 and P10 both being in the top 10. So that was very good. And it was Kimi's first season, and we know what icon he got into, but yeah, that wouldn't be possible without Sauber. Now, our first place, I think, is a very obvious one. It's going to be the 2007 to the 2009 driver lineup with Nick Heidfeld and the legend himself, Robert Kubica. Now, this was, of course, their best season. They had 3 seasons together. They scored their only win with Robert Kubica in 2008 at the Canadian Grand Prix, which was so awesome. They actually fought for the title. Well, Robert fought for the title until the middle of the season. They scored 15 podiums in those 3 years, 1 pole, 2 fastest laps, 272 points in those 3 years, which is a 16.13% of all points scored over those 3 years. That's a big jump up from second and third place. They were 3rd.60 in an average in the constructors. In 2008 they were 3rd, and 2007 they were 2nd. I think 2009 were the weaker season because the car wasn't as good as it was the previous 2 years. But still, Robert Kubica and Nick Heidfeld got the best out of the car, and both of the drivers scored a P8 in their driver standings with their averages. So yeah, this was probably my favorite season, was 2008 and 9. And yeah, I forgot Sebastian Vettel, my favorite F1 driver, was Robert's replacement for the USA Grand Prix after his horrific crash from the 2007 championship, where he crashed in Canada. So if it wasn't for that crash, Sebastian Vettel wouldn't have gotten the call up to Toro Rosso in the middle point of the 2007 season. So yeah, that's why this is probably my favorite one. And yeah, this was such an awesome video to make, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be doing this with more F1 teams. I'll also do drivers season rankings, where I think which were like Sebastian Vettel's best to worst seasons in F1. And then also what I want to say is I'm doing a ranking of the drivers of each season, and when I get back to all these seasons, I will be doing I think perform the best in the teammate pairings, not just who was the most successful. So, but thank you very much for watching this video. This was I thought it's gonna take a while to get this video, but it was just like 1 or 2 days. So if you like more of these videos, please like and subscribe. The Zandvoort race is this weekend, so we'll be getting a lot of content again. So yeah, thank you for watching, and comment which is your favorite and who do you think is the most successful. Okay, cheers.